Welcome, everyone. Today I'm sitting down with Hazelview Properties. Hazelview Properties is a property management company. It's a Canadian property management company. They've been around for about 20 years, and they have offices across Canada in 6 provinces and 25 cities. This morning, we have 4 employees that have joined us to talk a little bit about the company, the industry, to talk a bit about careers at Hazelview Properties, how to position yourself for opportunities. So we're going to talk to a few employees about their journey, their experience, and that will be great. So I'm going to introduce the panelists right away. So today we have Alethea Abbas, Senior Talent Lead, and she's joining us from Toronto. Welcome, Alethea.
Thank you.
Next, we have Adeomi Adeyemi. He is a community manager, and he's joining us from Winnipeg. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yvonne Ho is here with us today. She's a marketing corporate social responsibility specialist, and she is a graduate of George Brown College, and she's joining us today from Toronto. So welcome, Yvonne.
Thank you.
I also have with us Shana Pazenti. She's the National Talent Manager for the company across Canada. Welcome. So glad you could join us today, Shana.
Thanks, Tricia. Nice to have you to have us all. We're really happy to be here.
No, I'm excited to hear a little bit more about Hazelview Properties. And on that note, I think I'm going to start with Alethea. I have a question for you. Alethea, I wonder if you could expand a little bit more on what Hazelview Property does and just a little bit more about the company in general.
For sure, absolutely. So it's a very interesting story about Hazelview Properties, and as you mentioned, we span our track record in property management spans for over 20 plus years. We are spread across 6 provinces and 25 cities, and we started off with buying a small building in Oakville, Ontario. And it was back in 1999, and from there to here, our journey in our journey with property management, we've now got 200 multi-residential buildings. So we have been growing since then. We have been expanding, and we've got a strong employer branding presence within the property management industry. We are a team of around 602 employees altogether. And our company, our property management, for what we stand here is all about how we are able to provide great experiences to our residents. Our motive and our vision behind buying these properties is to create a community experience. There's so many immigrants who are coming. There's so many newcomers in the Canadian markets. We want to stand for themselves as a place which they can call home. And in order to do so, we focus a lot on our team members. We hire the best of the best. Who come along with the same mandate in mind, who are aligned with the core values that Hazelview has. We keep trust, ownership mindset, collaboration, customer obsession on our top of the priorities, and we work backwards around it. So that's a little bit about Hazelview Properties. It's a growing firm, lots of exciting opportunities coming up, and we are here to grow. We are here to create moving stories for our residents as well as for our team members who are working with us.
Well, that's fantastic, Alethea. An interesting company is growing rapidly. That's good to hear. Can you tell us a little bit about the opportunities available, the jobs that you recruit for, and a bit about the hiring process?
For sure. So in terms of the hiring process, it may differ from role to role depending on the criticality of the positions, depending on how senior the position is, or if it's a frontline position that we are recruiting for. But a very generalized way in which we get to know the candidate, in which we get to know the team, the potential hire, is a mix of application assessments and interview and some one or two rounds of interviews. So we start off with I recommend all the candidates to go on the website, look at the job of interest, and apply directly on UltiPro. That's the system that we have on the applicant tracking system. Once that has been done, we review the resumes, we review the shortlisted applicants. We either call them for the assessments. Those are specifically for the leadership, senior management positions. But sometimes if there is a technical position, we also do invite people for testing, for technical testing. On top of that, if they get shortlisted further, we also call them for a series of interviews, which is where, a conversation or a dialogue starts between the candidate and the hiring team. So it could be a mix of your screening with the recruiter and then talking to different hiring managers. Sometimes there is a panel from different departments just to assess the candidate's personality, if they're going to be a good culture fit and personality fit for the position they have applied for. As I mentioned earlier about the different values that we focus on, being, trust, ambition, collaboration, ownership mindset being on top of our core, our business, we want to make sure that we are trying to figure out, we are trying to make those conversations with the potential candidates to make sure that they're aligned with those values. We don't, it's not necessary that you have to, do a lot of preparation for positions which are based on customer service, project management, or, other managerial day-to-day operational positions, because we really want to see how authentic you are in your day-to-day lifestyle and in your day-to-day work experiences. So it's all about, the personality, the alignment in the culture and the value systems. Now talking about the opportunities that we have, we have a mix of, as we're spread in different provinces. So it's a widespread network. We are starting from Western Canada, coming towards Eastern Canada. We have got Quebec, Nova Scotia, and then the entire Ontario, starting from Ottawa, Southwestern Ontario, and Toronto markets. So our positions could range from entry level to all the way up to senior management. Most of our entry level positions are around the day-to-day building administration and building management. So you start off your career from there, which gives you a chance to learn about, one small portfolio, and then as per your experience, you gather and you generate more skill set. You kind of work on different portfolios, you enhance your experience and skill set. Then we have got capital and in-suite teams. So that's where there's a chunk of opportunities lying there. We are looking for people in terms of project coordination and project management in construction. Those are some of the relevant experiences that we are looking for, because we buy buildings and we try to turn them over in order to bring them above par and create a great along the lines of Hazelview Properties. So there is a lot of opportunity in that aspect, looking for people who are great with interior designing, looking for people who are great with construction management, somebody who can lead the project, somebody who can coordinate the the plan all the way to execution. And then we have got other opportunities like human resources and marketing and finance and accounting department. We have a booming IT department as well, which is constantly growing. So lots of opportunities there as well. So thank you. I really hope that answers the question. It also piques candidates, the listeners' interest in Hazelview Properties, and really hope to entertain people from George Brown College, people who are looking to expand within this industry. We have lots for them. We have lots to offer, both in terms of not just opportunities, but professional development as well.
Well, it sounds like it, and it sounds like you recruit from a lot of different programs that we have at the college, and so very exciting that it's growing, the company's growing, and there are those opportunities for our graduates. Now, speaking of graduates, Yvonne, You graduated in 2020 from our strategic relationship management, strategic relationship marketing program. And I was wondering about what was the journey that took you to Hazelview, and also how our college prepared you for the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Trisha. So yes, I did graduate from George Brown a year ago. Time flies. And I would say George Brown had really did a really great job with preparing me for all of this. I remember there being a course that was specifically focused on co-op preparation. So everything from resume workshops, interview preparation, even like coffee chats and informational interviews. I really tapped into the co-op office. I had meetings with some co-op advisors who helped me to review my resume, who helped me with mock interviews and all of that. And I think that really helped give me a lot of feedback, which was, as you can see, it was successful in helping me land my co-op position at George Brown a year ago. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers the co-op component, and then I think the academic component. A lot of the courses that I took in the strategic marketing management program were really hands-on and practical, and I can see that a lot of what I learned in the classes was something that I was able to transfer and apply to my day-to-day work. So I think it was a really holistic experience at George Brown, which helped me to succeed in my co-op placement here.
Oh, that's great. It sounds like it was quite a journey. And often with the co-ops, they get you ready for how to present yourself to an employer, some basic skills you need to have as far as working on teams, and then specifically around the skills and abilities you have within marketing, which is fantastic. So it sounds like you're in a really good place right now.
I would say so.
Yeah. Adiyami, how about you? Tell us a little bit about your journey to Hazelview.
Thank you very much, Trisha. My journey has been awesome, right? And the interesting thing is, when I reached out, there was an opportunity for a property manager and a committee manager role at Hazelview. So I did then apply. When I applied, and I was invited for an interview, and the interview went so well, and that what I've also realized is that we have leadership team within the organization that guides you through the process. And the HR team are also very supportive in letting you know exactly what to expect. And following the recruitment process, I had a very great time during the recruitment process, and afterwards I was hired. And one thing that has been very important for me to see, and that struck a chord, is the value of Hazelview. So you would see organization have a lot of fantastic things on their website, and they say a lot about themselves. Probably a consultant wrote that for them. And you look into the culture internally, there is a mismatch. For Hazelview, for everything we share as a core value is what you see. So it's, for me, the journey has been fantastic, because what I see exactly is what I get, because I'm able to see value in terms of helping residents to give the best service, to show collaboration among team members, and you have team members who are always wanting to help. So we do not just say these things, just like Alicia said earlier. We don't just say these things as our core values, but we act it. And you have management team that really are behind you to support that same core values. For me, I have seen an alignment in my own personal core values in caring for people, and I see that with Hazelview. So it makes my journey easy and smooth within the organization. So I encourage anybody within the college, George Brown College, and wants to come to Hazelview. Hazelview is a great place to be, and you can be sure that you have people who will guide you, who will support you through that journey. So my journey so far has been great and fantastic. So property management is about caring for people, being there out for people, supporting people, and we don't just build blocks here, right? Hazelview would see that it's an organization where we just turn brick and mortar to a home, to a community, and you will see that my My title is a community manager. In other organizations, you see a property manager, but it's not because we're not looking at the property itself. We are building a community, a place where people can call a home. So you will see the real connect is there. So for me, the value that we present on our website and the values that we have internally makes the journey for me easier, and it's been an awesome experience.
Well, I love that you say that you say you see yourself, because the title community manager is about building homes for people within a community. So there's always that sense of connectivity, and I really like that. And it's great that you found something that aligns so well with your values. Now, Yvonne, you've been there for about a year. Have you thought about your career path? It sounds like Hazelview is very supportive in helping you along a career path. Have you considered your next steps, Yvonne, at the company?
I've actually been here for 9 months now. To be honest, I haven't thought about further, just because I'm enjoying my current position so much and there's so much opportunities. I think one of the core values that Alifia mentioned was ownership mindset, and I think that really reflects in the company and my department. My boss, who's the VP of marketing, really gives each person in the team the full opportunity to take on a project and grow and own it. So I've just really been enjoying my current position and all the projects that I'm working on. So I haven't thought too far in the future. When I started off, I was a co-op student, and I got promoted to a marketing specialist. So there's a lot that I'm currently working on that I think will continue to grow. So I think it really depends on the projects themselves. But as Olivia mentioned, the company is constantly growing. The projects that we're working on, the development projects are constantly growing. So I think there's no shortage of opportunities to grow in that aspect.
That's great. That's good. Alicia, can you elaborate a bit more on what the company does to support its employees on different career paths?
Absolutely. So I think this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, especially when it relates to fresh graduates, young graduates. A lot of time when I'm speaking with the people, when I get a chance to interview young graduates, they're not interested. They're not driven by financials. They're actually driven by what's there for me in terms of growth, in terms of learning, in terms of professional development. And we as a team, we are really focused on that. For us, it starts with building the culture of recognition and rewards. We want to create a culture that recognizes exceptional work, and we've got a lot going on around there. People who are going above and beyond in terms of customer service, in terms of any special projects that they've worked on, going above and beyond in terms of providing a great experience to the residents or the prospects. We do, we've got award programs like Bravo and Gusto Awards. They're given out on a quarterly basis to, those kind of things enhance and motivate the team members intrinsically, and it also creates a great way to enhance their performance at work as well. On top of that, we also believe in the culture of feedback, and it just doesn't at Hazelview, it just doesn't take place during the annual reviews. We believe in doing that on a continuous basis. There is a conversation, there is a dialogue going on every quarter, every mid-year reviews, and then eventually we dive into the annual reviews, so that it doesn't come as a surprise to people, right? So we want to give our employees, our team members, a chance to continuously learn and grow. So that happens. On top of that, we also have our learning management systems, where we have got a dictionary or a Google of different courses on leadership, on sales, and other different courses on capabilities that are important for you in your workplace. So additionally, we focus a lot on providing our employees those kind of opportunities, and we also have collaborated with LinkedIn Learning, where we give each other a chance to focus on any topics that you would be interested in learning. They have the world is their oyster when it comes to their professional development.
Okay. Oh, that's great. So lots of opportunity for employees, a lot of support available to them. Fantastic. Yvonne, can you just going to go back to you for a sec, because I want to get a sense of what you do on a daily basis. Can you just take us through what a day looks like for you?
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to say one thing because every day for me is really, really different. There's a bunch of different projects that I'm kind of helping to manage. So my job, in my job title is Marketing and Corporate Social Responsibility Specialist. So my work is kind of divided into marketing and CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility. On the marketing side, we're working on a bunch of new development projects. So we're building new purpose-built rental apartments. I get the opportunity to work on those marketing projects. I'm collaborating with marketing agencies to build a brand for these new projects. On the corporate social responsibility side, we're currently developing a new CSR strategy. So I get to work together with my team to work on the strategy, to build out pilot programs, to work with external partners like NGOs and community organizations to see where our biggest social impact can be and develop programs that would give back to the community. So that's something that I really, really enjoy. And then a whole bunch of other things like I do a bit of graphic design on Adobe InDesign, working on websites, digital marketing, things like that. So a little bit of everything. It's been fun and challenging every day.
Oh, that's great, though. It keeps you busy, and you're using a lot of the skills you have. And it looks like the companies saw the skills that you have and your capabilities and put you in a position where you could really use those and build on those skills, which is great. Adiomi, we know that the interview gets you the job, right? Can you share with us your experience in the interview with Hazelview?
Thank you. The interview experience is what I would recommend for people generally is get yourself prepared, right? Know more about the organization. We are an organization, we care about people. We're looking at best in class service. We're looking at people who have ownership mindset. We're looking at people who can be able to develop a community and make a place well living where we can call a home together. And we do a whole lot of fun things within the organization. So we're not just work. There's also fun within while we work. So my interview experience was great, like I said earlier, because I came in for the interview. I mean, sometimes our senior managers do not just go by asking you, what did you study? How long have you done this? Sometimes it's just about, tell us about yourself. What can you do? Do you even understand what this role is about? Right? And they're able to guide and hold you through the process. So most people going to an interview feeling that I have to cram everything. Just be yourself. Being yourself, we are looking for those who are real, those who are authentic. And I think being authentic helps through the interview process, helps you to succeed in the interview process. I believe that helped me during my own interview process. And I was just real about myself and I was real about what I can deliver. And so, like I said, the managers are there to help you. Everyone in the organization is there to help you. But again, how can we help somebody who is not ready, who is not fit? So we are looking for people who has that mindset that I'm wanting to learn, I'm wanting to grow with the organization. And it makes a whole lot of difference. Interviews nowadays, and I see my talent managers are here, and interview nowadays have changed. There's a whole lot of things that people want to know. Are you the right fit for us? And that is all that matters. And once we see that, it is easy to bring you on board because we know you can be teachable, we know we can support you. And at Hazelview, I can't overemphasize it. We get that support, right? You have the support. You have people who are willing to help you. You have processes. We have a lot of training that is ongoing. We have a system called UltiPro where you can go and learn and train yourself and see things. We have things documented like a knowledge bank where you can go to and find out things about something and you can self-learn things yourself. So it is about getting prepared, bringing your best self forward, and then we will be able to identify. For me, that helped me, and I think I'm still very successful at what I do, and I'm still looking at the journey ahead for greater success as well, because I know within the organization, I get a lot of people to help me to achieve that.
That's fantastic. Okay, I have one final question, and I want to address it to Shauna, if that's all right, Shauna, because you're the National Talent Manager. I think it would be nice to know where Hazelview is headed. You know, as far as a company, it sounds like it's involved in lots of different areas, full support for employees. You are really on a recruitment drive right now because you're growing. Tell us a little bit more about where the company is going and just some ideas around you know, specifically how does Hazelview affect communities, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to speak a little bit to that. I think, you know, Hazelview is a place where, and I think everybody's mentioned it on this call today, that really gives team members an opportunity to grow. And I don't think we would be there without some really smart investments that our founders did. You know, we continue to have the opportunity to purchase more properties. Sometimes there's some dispositions where we sell properties, and others where we then acquire new large properties. So there's always so much diversity happening within our organization, but within the market as well. So I think always tons of great opportunities that way. I think overall we're just really fortunate to be in a place where we are continuing to grow. Where I know it's been a bit of a struggle during the pandemic. And I think, as you know, Adeomi said, Alethea said, I think even Yvonne's mentioned, I think that right fit within our team is important. But I think it's also important for the students or for anyone applying to make sure that it's the right fit for them as well. Has to go both ways. So I think that's really critical. You know, we're always happy to answer questions. I think even during our interview process, we're pretty honest about, you know, where there could be some challenges in the role, where there's some really great strengths within the company and things that candidate could potentially bring. Yeah, I think we're just in a very fortunate place to continue to grow as a company. And just looking for those right people that are driven, that are excited, that are happy to maneuver in different directions and be agile, and kind of take on that journey with us.
Okay, Shauna, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for joining me today. Now, just before we wrap up, Alethea, if someone is interested in applying for an opportunity at Hazelview, any last minute instructions or tips? What should they do?
For sure. I mean, the very first point is to start off your search by visiting our website, www.Hazelview Properties, our careers page there. So you would be able to, you know, see a mix of different positions that we have on an ongoing basis. On top of that, do your research on the company, meet some Hazelview team members on LinkedIn. You can start off by joining me on LinkedIn, Jana, Adeomi, Yvonne. We would be happy to support you in learning about, you know, how things run at Hazelview Properties or any specific details that you're looking for. That could be your first step, meeting the team members. And from there, in terms of tips, I think as a fresh graduate, don't worry about the experience that you have or you don't have. It's the aptitude that you have. It's, you know, the skills that you have developed during your community, your college years, working on different projects, teaming up with different team members, and enhancing your attitude as a team player, your collaboration skills, your communication. So focusing on those and less on the experience, because it is the uniqueness in you that you have to promote, that you have to exude during the interview, which is what we are looking for. So best of luck to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Great information. Now the grads have a better understanding of what Hazelview does. They know what they need to prepare and how to reach out to you. So that is all great. Thank you again so much for joining me today. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Tricia.
Bye.
Bye.